TikTok is a national security concern. Why? The government won't specify, but here are some plausible explanations. And before you come at me, just know I have a Juris Doctorate and a Master's of Public Administration from the #1 MPA and International Relations School in the world. And my focus was on tech policy. So TikTok mines our data. They use our interests, images, engagements to advertise at us. So Meta and Google do the same things, but those are American companies, so it's not perceived as a national security risk. TikTok contributes to lower productivity and social behaviors that are not unlike opium addiction. Fun fact, our opium problem here in the States, we also got that way back in the day from China. The result is a degradation of society and ultimately a lower American GDP. Propaganda. Now, how many of you get your news from TikTok? And you're surprised at how little some of it gets covered in American mainstream media. So the Federal Communications Commission regulates all media broadcasts in the US, filtering your news that way. There are some legal barriers to regulating social media, and it should be because of free speech, but really it's because internet companies were ruled by the Supreme Court to not be broadcasting channels, and therefore not under the FCC jurisdiction. So the problem here is that more and more Americans are getting news from unfiltered sources, and they're acquiring opinions that are not always in alignment with American values. Naturally, American companies will have a different approach to this than an adversarial company like China. China cares a lot about what their own citizens think about their government. They don't care if Americans criticize their own government. In fact, they might prefer it. Yes, the TikTok ban would be considered an issue of free speech, a right supposedly protected by our Constitution. But national security is also an issue, which is the one issue that perhaps trumps our right to free speech. In closing, don't despair. No matter what, knowledge and truth are resilient and, in the long run, impossible to suppress. It's like a hydra. One part gets chopped off, and something will grow in its place.